Welcome, everybody, to Who's Your Band? I am Jeffrey Paul. I am joined by my very funny, talented co-host, Mr. Sean Morton. How are you, Sean?
You can give me more than just funny and talented. I'll take anything you can really give me today.
You didn't pay me enough to give you more.
Oh, that's true too. I'm back in my studio. I've left my dining room table finally.
And now you're back in your boy cave.
I ditched cable. I cut the cord with cable finally.
Everybody's doing that.
Cut the cord with cable. The internet would not make my office. This office has like $100,000 worth of stuff down here, and I can't enjoy it. I can't do anything down here. I got all my guitars, my bass, my amp, all this shit. I can't use any of it. There's no internet or whatever. So now I switch. I go to T-Mobile, right? I go to T-Mobile. Oh, let me tell you, I got a little mesh unit right here. Look, here's my mesh unit, and I got perfect internet down here. So you know what? Fuck off. That's what I'm saying, basically.
That's what I say too. Fuck them, Henry. Listen, man, let's get started with this. Okay, enough of this dopey preamble because I say this a lot. I really do. I'm excited about this guest. Okay, I'm really excited about this guest. I met her about a week or so ago on 101.5 FM, and then as fate would have it, I went to go see the BTO show, Bachman-Turner Overdrive, over at the St. George Theater. And guess who was the opening act? Here's our guest. She's a singer. She's a songwriter. She has performed with Bruce Springsteen, John Bon Jovi, and we will get into all of that. But it's our pleasure to welcome to the show, Lisa Bouchelle.
Hi, thank you for having me. It's funny because when we met, you had asked if I was going to be opening at the St. George Theater in Staten Island. And at that point, I was just opening at Carteret that week. And then I got a call to open that one too. So I was very happy to run into you there.
So how does that work? How does that happen? How do you get the gig at Carteret? And was it after the Carteret show that they asked you to perform at St. George? And I wanted to talk a little bit about that as well.
No, I got offered to do the show at Carteret through my management company. I guess someone who works at the theater I had performed there before on another bill, and they asked me to perform. And oddly enough, they didn't see me and then asked me. Another person from Live Nation who had worked with me before, who already knew what I did, they called me and asked me to open in Staten Island as well. But before I played at the Carteret, right after I met you, that's when I don't know why they just did. So I was.
Let's talk a little bit. So sure, I go to see Bachman-Turner Overdrive. I used to love this band growing up. Okay, but so Lisa opens the show. It's a couple of it. Listen, Sean and I are both comedians. We've opened up for some big comics. It's a tough gig. It really is a tough gig being the opening act. When people are coming to see, the headliner, and you got to warm them up. But you, man, I gotta say, you had it. I thought it was tough. A tough gig in this regard. Okay. They make a general announcement over the loudspeaker. Okay. They lower the lights. No introduction. Okay, no introduction. Like stupid Ken Dashow was there. Okay, just to make he said something in between that no one gave a shit about. You couldn't come out stupid and introduce the opening act. No, she just walks out on stage. But very likable, very charming. Before she starts playing, introduces herself, says a couple of gracious words and starts playing. And that's what's really cool is because I don't know what your opening song was, okay? But whatever it was, you got the crowd. I mean, you did. I mean, you got a voice. You really do. Me and my wife were sitting there. I think by the second or third song, we were like, she reminds us of somebody. And we were thinking, Melissa Etheridge, but not quite as raspy, Sheryl Crow. And then I was thinking Jewel. Okay.
Yes.
That's who but the thing is, this little blonde comes out, and Sean, I'm telling you, a powerful voice. And I'm not just saying it because Lisa's on the show. I never heard these songs. She did a great job with them. There were a couple songs that stood out to me was Love is for the Making.
Yes.
And was Jump In kind of like a country song? Was that your country song that you put the hat on?
No, that was only the tequila talking, but I kept the hat on for Jump On. Jump
Okay,
In.
yeah, because it did have
Yeah.
kind of like a very like country pop sound to me, and then you did I thought something that was very interesting, and I think this is a smart thing to do. So nobody there really is going to know you. They're going there to see BTO. You open up with a couple of your own songs, which are good. Okay, nothing extremely long, so everything very catchy, great opening voice, and then you do a cover. And you got a nice reaction when you said I'm going to do the song by Gordon Lightfoot, and then you introduced the song, and now people were vested, and then you got them the rest of the way. Did you feel the same way?
Yes. But one interesting thing is I did record that Gordon Lightfoot song on one of my records, and I did a video for it. So yes, it is a cover, but it's kind of reimagined. But I thought that it was great for that crowd because of the era and the genre. And I thought that people would probably be familiar with that song. Whereas when I found it driving late at night on deep tracks. But I knew that the people in that audience, the demographic, would probably know that song. And so I thought it would be a good one to do. Yes.
That's what I liked about the show. I like that, you were very engaging with the audience. I like that BTO was also, Randy Bachman was telling some great stories.
Great stories. Yeah.
And then, so we really did we really did listen. This is how you know that the opener did a great job. You're not looking at your watch. Okay? I mean that sincerely. But this is what pissed me off. Hey, show ends. Hey, thank you, Lisa Bouchelle. No one from BTO can come and help you unplug, wrap a wire, help you put your guitar. I mean, you were your own road crew, your own person. It's like you walk on, do you like, man, they can help you out a little bit. And then a couple of guys from BTO come out, their road crew to move a stool. Like no one could help you. What the hell?
The day before, my main lead manager came up, and I didn't know he was going to come help me. So I was getting ready to get my little crate and stick all this stuff in there. Right? And all of a sudden he showed up. He's like, "Can I help you?" I'm like, "Yes." It was like an angel descended onto the stage because I have to get out to merch. Like you figure when I come in, I set up all my stuff at the merch booth. I put my stuff up in the green room. I come in my roadie clothes. I go up and I do my sound check. I set up all my harmonizer pedal, everything like that. So after I get finished, I have to sweep that to the side of the stage, leave it there and book it out to merchandise because I sell my own merch. So I get out to merchandise. And then when I get finished with that, signing all the autographs, meeting all the great people and selling my merch, then I go in and I usually pack everything up, get it out to the car, watch BTO or watch whoever if I'm opening for someone, and then go back out and sell afterwards again at merch. So it's like a lot to get done. When I'm getting off stage, I have to get it off of there in about 2 minutes so I can get right out to merchandise. It's a lot.
Yeah, you really are a hustler, Sean. She really is a hustler. I mean, we're going to talk about what stuff that she's done, but I'm just kind of curious about, because as comedians, Sean and I both know, we'll sell our merch at a show. What was the response to the people, like when you were at Carteret, when you do open up for some of these bigger acts, because you've toured? She's worked with the Wallflowers, Train, Blues Traveler, Don Felder, Glenn Tilbrook from Squeeze, one of my favorite all-time bands, and I'm leaving out people too. Okay, what's it like to be the opener for that, and especially like at the show at St. George? Do people come? Are people nice? Are they gracious? Do they come and support? What happens with that?
Well, firstly, the last two shows since they just happened this week, I'll answer that question first. I had a spectacular reaction with the audience. It was synergistic, and as you guys know, it's not just like it. To me, I don't know. It's not just an ego thing. It's like we're sharing the music. They got what I did, and they like BTO, and I like BTO, and it was very magical. I mean, I really had a good time at both of those shows, and it was reflected in my. I sold a lot too. Sometimes they'll waive if you owe a percentage for hard merchandise. It might be like 15% for like your T-shirts and stuff like that. It might be like 10% at the end of the night. If you're the opening act and you only sell a few, like 5 CDs or something, they're not probably going. they're going to waive that fee. So I had talked to the person I work for, but at the end, he came up and I was like selling things up there, signing everything. I was like ready to sell blankets or shirts out of my car. Like I was selling everything with the kitchen sink. And so he's like, okay, they'll go over the percentage thing. Because
I guess that's kind of like a good thing because you were selling.
It was a good thing. I said that's the price of success, right? That I did that. But I have had such a great time touring everywhere and playing theaters, and I played arenas too. We had opened up for really big bands where we're playing, like my whole band was there. We're playing like 12,000 people arena, and I love that. But my all-time favorite is that theater because the like that size.
St. George Theater.
Well, no, any theater that size, like where it was an old movie theater. I think St. George was built in like 1929 and they refurbished, and the sound, honestly, it's just like this, Jeff, that sound in there, the singing, it's wonderful. It's marvelous. I mean, there's just nothing, when you're a singer-songwriter and you're not just, rocking, you're also telling a story through your music. There's nothing like a theater like that with good acoustics.
That's the theater that if you ever saw the movie School of Rock, the big scene at the end, that's where they filmed it.
I didn't see the movie, but I didn't know that, so I'll go watch it.
Oh, yeah. A bunch of music videos have been shot there. My wife and I were big supporters of it. Before the show, we were talking to the owner of the theater, and we got a preview of what's coming up.
Great guy.
I mean, they're so gracious. It is a great theater. I don't know anyone who's ever gone there and said, nah, this isn't for me. John, have you ever been to St. George?
I have. I've actually played there, and I want to ask a question because I've done the music thing too. And when you're talking about all the bands that you opened up for, and then you seem like you're a great fit and stuff like that, I want to hear about the gig that you get up there and you open, and you are not the correct opener for the band that you're opening for.
Well, it didn't happen to me really at all, except for one time that I went to, and it was just a nightmare. The first tour I went on, I was opening for Blues Traveler, and I didn't have the band. That was a solo tour, and I didn't have much. I didn't have a bus. I didn't have any budget. It's gotten better, but I was sticking canned goods in my trunk, and I actually wrote a song called "Whole Lotta Highway" about it.
Wait, hold on a second. You were on the tour?
I was traveling in my own car, and I opened up for 8 weeks for them all over. They were great people. I ended up making friends forever with some of those bandmates. John Popper had friends forever. I toured all over, and
you had to drive yourself to the shows.
I drove 12,000 miles in that car in 8 weeks. That was my first tour. So and things have gotten better, but I do hustle. But there was one time I went on that tour and I had scheduled a TV show appearance in Boston. And I left for the tour to go to New Orleans. And I found out like 3 days before I was leaving, I had to go. So I get down to New Orleans. I had to leave my band there and fly up to Boston, right? And I left my, because the band was playing with me somehow in New Orleans, and then they weren't on the rest of the tour. Anyway, I get on the plane and I fly up and I leave my car there in the airport in Georgia. And I get, I know what happened. New Orleans, then we traveled to Georgia. Oh God, it's so confusing. And we performed. I left because we must have been in Atlanta. I left my car at the airport. I flew up to Boston and I did the show, the TV show. When I came back, my luggage it was missing. And I had all this stuff I needed in it. I got in the car and I drove to Athens. And that was where the horrible show happened. So I drive to Athens and I'm getting ready in some parking lot. I had to go to CVS to buy makeup. Everything was missing because my luggage got lost. So I get to the show and I get on stage. I think it was like a college type crowd at that one city. And it stayed in my mind because I don't have many flops. They were just like looking at me like, what the hell? Like they looked clueless, and I just felt mortified. And after my luggage, it was a horrible, horrible night. So that was my bad story, but there was nothing really monumental about it. It was just awful. And it was like my second show of the tour, and the rest of the tour went wonderfully.
I know, like when you're like a comic, right? And like Sean, like when maybe you're with like a clean comic, or you're with someone who is has like a niche or point of view, and you're the complete wrong act for it.
Oh yeah.
That is brutal.
Please, it was last week. That was last Friday night in Staten Island.
What was that gig like? Well, Sean plays a lot of the big rooms. He played, I believe, a Mexican cantina.
Yeah, so this is what I actually said to them. I said, the best thing about meeting people in comedy, 16 years, you meet good friends. And my friend booked me on this show. I said, but he's not the only comic that I'm really good friends with. In fact, my friend Sebastian Maniscalco called me at 4:30 and said, hey, listen, I don't know if you're free. My opener got COVID. I'm doing MSG tonight. I can pay you 10 grand to open the show. So I said to him, hey, listen, I don't know if you heard, but did you hear the Mexican Cantina on Victory Boulevard in Staten Island? Can't top that one, buddy. And, I should not have left my house.
Yeah.
Oh.
And the scary thing is, I've done that Mexican Cantina more than once.
Yeah, I got there and I thought it was a different place, which I thought had this huge back room, which I had been to. And then I walked in and the 2x4 that I was performing on was literally right in the front alongside the stage. And it was, I was not happy.
Not happy. It's comedy, music. It is tough. But the thing is, there's some good times too. And so you did get to sing with Springsteen and John Bon Jovi. Let me start with John Bon Jovi first, because I actually got to see the video clip of that.
Oh,
and,
cool.
and again, that was really, really good. I mean, they were doing You Can't Go Back. You know that song?
Who Says You Can't Go Home? Yeah.
Who Says You Can't Go Home? Good song.
Right.
Yeah. And they did it as a duet, and it was great. It was great. How did that come about? And do you have any future plans on working with John?
I don't have any future plans at this very moment. I've worked with this producer a couple of times because I recorded one of my very first CD up at his home studio that he had when he was in Rumson. And I got to be friends with the engineer, and he's done some work for us in current albums. But with John directly, I don't have a current plan, but you never know. That was a cool thing. I sang with him a couple of times, and that particular time we were doing a benefit concert that his wife, a charity that she was very involved in. And so we just had a charity show, and Rock and Soul Review, Bobby Bandiera was pretty much responsible for putting all the musicians together locally to be part of it. And John asked that we all do one song or one song of his, and that was the theme, and then one of his other favorite songs. So he assigned me a song that I don't like as the other song, and it was a song that I don't like so much that all my friends knew of it. And when they heard that I was assigned it, they laughed and laughed. I said, shh, just let me sing it. I actually had an okay time singing. I don't want everyone to get mad at me that loves the song, but I just personally don't like it. There's nothing wrong with it. Build Me Up Buttercup. It's not my jam, but I did do it.
I love that song.
Oh, yeah.
I know. So don't get mad at me, but that's art. It's subjective. I don't like the song. It's okay. I sang the song.
I agree with you. It's a horrible song. It's a terrible song.
I feel like if someone called me Buttercup, I would just be like, we're breaking up right now.
I think that might be like a top 5 worst song ever, actually.
You're out of your mind.
It's a fucking horrible song.
That's a great summer, bar song going down to the Jersey Shore. I used to sing it all the time.
If I ever came to your house in the summer and you invited me over for a barbecue and we're hanging out and you put on Build Me Up Buttercup, I'm drowning you in your pool. I'm telling you right now. I know I could hold you down and I could end your life in your pool if you play that song around me.
The next show that you and I do together that we're coming out to walk up music, that's what I'm walking up to.
I'm coming to see that. Oh my God. So then after that, the other song that I got to pick would be one of John's, and everybody else I think he assigned it to us. Yeah, like that. So he assigned everyone one of his songs, and he asked me to do that one with him. So I was like, that'll be awesome. And we did, and it was great.
did you speak to him afterwards? I was kind of curious what he said to you after the performance.
But we have been in rehearsals all week, and I've worked with him other times. We know each other,
Okay, because that was really, really good, and I could definitely see something coming out of that from in the future. How long ago was that, by the way? I'm
very bad with time, and if I wasn't, pandemic made me completely confused. So I'm not even gonna. I don't even know. Horrible.
Yeah, did you see the video with John Bon Jovi from last week? What happened?
Yeah,
I know. We were on the air when it happened. They had
That's right. That's right. That was the night that Lisa came on the radio with us.
Video footage was amazing on that, though. Really was.
You think the guy asked for an autograph after?
Well, he should. He's got the picture. He's got the
That's what I would
surveillance.
do. I want a picture and autograph. Like, I won't jump, but you got to give me a signed guitar and tickets to your next show. I just keep asking for shit. Yeah.
Yeah, I would. God. Why not? What are you going to lose? Your life? I mean,
yeah, exactly. Making you look good here, John. How did you wind up getting together with Springsteen?
It all came through the whole Jersey Shore scene. My management and Bobby Bandiera and Rock and Soul Review that happens at the Count Basie Theater and some of the charity work. And that was, I believe, that was a different concert we put on called the Hope Concert. I think that was at the Basie that I did backups for him. And that was incredible. Watching him lead a band is like incredible. I mean, because you know how when you guys know, when you're by yourself, you can kind of change things up and go a different direction according to what's happening, come feed it back from the audience or just anything, your instinct, your vibe, right? I can change what song I'm doing. I can make a song shorter or longer. I had to do that at the St. George Theater because I looked and I was running out of time. So I had to abbreviate the last 2 songs on like a Peyton Manning mentality, right? You guys are probably the same, but when you have like a whole band, you really have to be a hell of a band leader to be able to turn around to them and just, and get everyone on the same board when you're about to change lanes, and he just has that ability. He can bring it up, bring it down, change directions. And he's just in the moment and he's just a great band leader.
But that band also been together for 40 years.
Or not. We saw them last week in Asbury Park. And I think the greatest thing that came out of that concert was that he didn't do Night Shift by the Commodores. Every concert I've seen him do over the past 3 years, he's played that dumb song. This guy's got 200 amazing original songs, and he keeps doing the fucking Night Shift cover by the Commodores. I can't stand it. But let me tell you, Jeff,
great cover.
It's a great cover.
I love Night Shift.
Yeah, I know it's a great song, but now you're gonna do "Prove It All Night" or you're gonna do "Night Shift."
Prove It All Night's my favorite song, so yeah, of course you have to do "Prove It All Night."
Well, let me tell you, I don't know if you saw the set list for the Asbury Park.
I did.
I mean, listen, I've seen Bruce a dozen times, and this was without a doubt the greatest set list I've ever seen him perform. It was he changed up his set list to really make it a Asbury Park 1974 concert.
Oh, that's awesome.
He did a lot of stuff from Greetings. He did stuff from the first 3 records. It was just unreal. What a great show. But 35,000 people on the beach.
The overhead pictures of that are insane. You know what? On this tour, you know what song I really love by Springsteen that I kind of just discovered over the summer? I really love the song "Living in the Future." Do you guys know that song?
I don't even know it.
Off of Magic.
Yeah, Magic's a very underrated record.
Great album. Yeah, I've been listening to a lot of the newest stuff. A lot of the when I say newest stuff, and since 2010, really good stuff, man.
I still say his last album is one of his best records in 20 years. That "Letters to You" record. When you look at it and you realize that 3 songs on that record were written in 1971 or 72, and he just recorded them for the first time, and they still sound just as fresh 50 years later. It's unbelievable.
They're just as fresh.
They're just as fresh as they are.
You are a fucking Mo.
I'm a
just Mo. As fresh.
Hey, Sean, I'm gonna go kill myself. Can you find my ticket stub? Yeah,
my ticket stub. Lisa Bouchelle. Also, this is what people don't know. Two top adult contemporary 2 top 25 singles adult contemporary chart.
Oh. Yes,
right?
And the song you mentioned, "Love Is for the Making," that about freaked me out. We ended up in the top 20 for 10 weeks of the adult contemporary Billboard chart this past year. It was crazy.
Yeah,
10 weeks.
Now, these albums that CDs that you put out, are you signed on a label or are you putting them out on your own? And how do you get distributed? I mean, I've spoke about this before. My first job out of college, I worked for a major label. I worked for Columbia. It was CBS Records. I worked. It was Columbia, Epic, all the associated labels. The record business has changed completely since those days. Okay. Not as many artists are signed, distribute, the amount of records sold isn't nearly. So are you putting out a CD just to put it out there so you can tour? And who distributes your stuff?
Well, we work sort of like a subsidiary of with Sony Records. Right now, we used to work with Universal, and then we've done a lot, on our Trash Can Dreams label without any extra distribution. But this current one, we get distribution and stuff. We work with Sony. It's definitely, like you said, a different business. I do still sell CDs, and I also have it on all the streaming platforms, and it's harder, but I think it's more like you say, you have to think outside the box. I think everybody does. I mean, I have my TV show, and I kind of use that to feed. You just have to look at what each person kind of has. People say to me, how do I do it? These musicians are like, just look at what you have and try to think outside the box to capitalize on whatever's unique about you, And it's kind of like I've managed to get some assistance that way. So we do have the distribution, but it is definitely a different business. And for me, touring is always my favorite. So if I put out the music and it does well, and then we get better tours, that to me is what I want. So I guess that's kind of the answer, but it's hard to say, Jeff. I mean, honestly, like we all know, it's hard to say what my plan is because I don't know what opportunity I'm going to be presented with that I have to weigh out and how I'm going to go about it, So I just have to put myself out there and see what I'm offered and then try to make the most intelligent decision I can moving forward. Forward motion. As long as I'm keep getting farther, I'm good to go.
Well, that's the thing. The thing is to always keep moving forward. But you're out there. You'll play the St. George Theater one night, and you'll play someone's living room the next night.
Well, yeah, house concerts are awesome, but let's make it bar when I have to go to bars, which is this weekend, which is fine, but it's a little different.
We're in the same situation,
I know.
We're in the exact same situation. I'll never forget. I did a week at the Borgata. Every night was anywhere from 700 to 1,100 people every single night. And then the next week, my gig was 5 people in a basement Sea Caucus. You can never tell. And you got to take the good with the bad with it, though. But I got a question. Rockstar Kitchen. I want to know about this because I was a rock star. I'm still a rock star comedian, and I can fucking cook. So I want to know about it.
Well, Rockstar Kitchen is right now repeats because we're going with another network soon. So then I could let you know what's going on. But right now it's the repeats. We have a great show concept. Apparently it went really well. I came up with this idea to do like cooking and have someone bring like famous people come on, but bring like a recipe that's near and dear to their heart. Like say they're like vegetarian, or say they picked it up on tour in New Orleans, or say they're really famous and you want to hear about their grandmother's goulash or something, we recreate that, or we try to do whatever recipe is their favorite. And then while it's cooking in the oven, we usually do a song that's one of their classics and one new song that they have. And we do them very acoustic because I'm like a folky kind of chick. Even my band is all based around the acoustic. So we sit around the kitchen table and just do like acoustic versions of songs that people have usually only heard like Foley produced. And the great thing about having them bring something that's near and dear to them is that you open them up and they start to talk about their childhood, their touring, things that you normally wouldn't hear about while we're rolling dough and flour. And,
that was great, because I like the cooking segment. I mean, and you got some great guests, man. But the best part really was like you're singing with the singer from Tonic. That sounded really, really good. You had not only Kelly Hansen, but you had Jeff Filson. I love both those guys.
Oh, you do? Me too.
From Foreigner. Yeah, I thought that was great. You're getting you had great guests on that show. You had Bowling for Soup. I thought that was kind of like a fun episode. I mean, really but really like a different type of guys. That Jack Blades from Night Ranger. It's a great idea for sure. I'm a little shocked that it hasn't been picked up and has been at least syndicated in major markets, right?
Well, that's where we're going right now. We're in talks about that because when we first I came up with the idea. It took us literally like a year and a half to get it onto the network. Now it's like it was their top rated original content show on that network. Meanwhile, it takes a year and a half. Everyone says, guys know, the two of you know better. I'm preaching the choir. It's such a great idea. It did so well. It must have been. It didn't. We had to fight to get any placement at all. So it's like now it's doing well. So now, other people are interested. So hopefully, we get farther along with that too.
What's your, now let me ask you a quick question. Are you married, Lisa? Are you in a relationship?
Well, I'm seeing somebody.
Okay, so here's my question. Now that you're a cook, what is your go-to dish? The first dinner that you have to make somebody, you're trying to impress them. What's your go-to dish?
Well, if we're doing an indoor dinner, I'll probably go with pork chops Creole. And if I was outdoor, I would probably go with salmon on the grill, that type of thing. Salmon, salad, some roasted vegetables on the grill and stuff like that. But inside,
I'm giving her my signature dish. I want her to make it. I want her to make it her own.
Yeah, that's what she's going to do. She's going to sit there and cook for you all day.
Well, I'm telling you, this is a goddamn good meal, Jeff.
I want to hear.
I'll make it for you too. It's a very simple pasta dish. So I like to make my own pasta. And then what I will do is I'll take cherry tomatoes, cut them up into quarters. And then I will take olives that have the pimento inside the olive as well. Chop them up feeny, right? Tons of garlic. Because when it says 2 cloves of garlic, let's just be honest, we use 12 anyway, right? Nobody uses 2 cloves of garlic. Okay. Tons of fresh basil. And it's an olive oil based sauce. So it's very heavy. But layer bottom of olive oil, and I saute the tomatoes and the olives all the way down. Throw in hot, the red pepper flakes afterwards. Throw that in there too. Very end, throw all that tons of garlic in there. More olive oil, mix into a sauce. Put your fresh pasta in. Twirl it around. Pecorino Romano.
Could this be more complicated?
That's a mic drop right there.
That sounds great.
Oh,
yes,
God, don't encourage him, Lisa, please.
It's making me hungry.
I know we had it
more about me every night, Jeff. You're learning more about me. You had no idea how much of a great cook I was too.
We had
the mic, and I'll dust you in the kitchen. Continue.
We had a show with a chef on, and he's going on and on about this dumb pasta dish that he made. You put macaroni in a bowl, in a pot. That's what you did. Stop it.
No, it sounds really.
Make your own pasta, Jeff.
Mm.
It's hard. It's hard ingredient.
Where are you from?
Born in Trenton.
Oh, so you're a Jersey girl. Okay.
Yeah.
So did you spend time in the South?
I did in New Orleans. And
that's great. I figured.
Yeah, out west in Mesa, which is outside of Phoenix. So I traveled a bit, coming up, and now I'm still I'm in Jersey now, so I like it a lot.
Writing a joke could be you can have weeks, sometimes months, even years where things come to you. Like you'll be driving, you'll have clarity in your head, and you're able to write, and you just got to be able to get it on paper as fast as you can think it. When it comes to you and your songwriting, how do you go about doing a song? Do you do lyrics first? Does the music come to you, or do you work in a collaboration with your band?
I write, and usually, sometimes I co-write, but mostly I write solo, and I bring it to the band. But I have different ways I write. Sometimes I'll pick up the guitar, and like you say, you're in a mode where you're tuned into that frequency. Somehow it feels like it comes through you. Like maybe you didn't even write, even though you did. It's almost like you're channeling it. You're tuned into that frequency of the muses, right? And this it can go on for weeks or months. And I can always write something. I could write something right now, but the really good stuff, it's like when you're in one of those, like modes where you're writing. So it can either be where if I'm in that mode and I pick up the guitar, I'm probably going to come up with something, be it a verse, and then I write the chorus, be it a verse and I go fish through my lyric scraps that I write down when I have an idea and I grab a chorus from it. Well, that'll match like an outfit. Or whether I write the poetry first. Like I have a song called I Believe, and I wrote it as a poem kind of, and it sat there for like a couple months because I couldn't figure out what kind of music. I must have changed it 10 times. And then finally it ended up being 4 chords, the whole song. So, sometimes it happens in pieces, but yeah.
There's no rhyme or reason to it, because I can say, there's no rhyme or reason to it. Because again, I can write, I have a book over here that's probably has 350 songs that are written in there already too. But, Jeff, it's not like the only way you can describe it too is with us. Like if you wrote a joke, 10 years ago, the joke that you do about the didgeridoo is, I make fun of it, but just say you did that. Right. And then, that came to you in what, 10 minutes, maybe 15 minutes. So you didn't.
That came pretty quick. Yeah.
That came quick. I have half-written songs from literally 20 years ago that I don't know what direction I would ever go into with it. And then I have lyrics that I wrote in 45 seconds where I've written 3 verses, choruses, bridges, everything like that. There's no, it's very strange. Like I can remember hearing Slaughter, the band Slaughter wrote the song Up All Night, and they wrote everything, and he had all the lyrics in his head, and he had nothing to write it down on. He wrote it down on the back of the Domino's pizza box. Yeah, but they wrote the entire song in 30 minutes,
Similar story to Cherry Pie.
Exactly.
The Warren song, when we had Bobby Brown on the show, and she told us the story about how Jenny wrote that one. You're inspired. Growing up, Lisa, who did you listen to?
I was really weird. I listened to classic rock and like Waylon Jennings, like outlaw country for a while. And then I got into like some pop stuff, but I honestly was like always into like the older stuff. Like I still have, my parents have passed away. I still have their vinyl and I listen to that all the time.
What made you want to be a singer-songwriter? And when did you know?
I was 4 years old and I went to a talent show at a picnic and my parents and grandparents were there. I was the only child and they were fighting all the time. And I signed up for the talent show. We knew a little bit ahead of time. So my grandmother made me this patriotic outfit and I was going to get up and sing America the Beautiful. And I still remember memorizing America the Beautiful, like literally like Purple Mountain's Majesty, as like a child would remember the words. I still can remember that. And I got up to sing and they stood me on a picnic table because I was the smallest contestant and I was like a contest and I thought, oh, they gave me a stage. So I sing in my little patriotic outfit. Everyone clapped. The family got along the rest of the day and talked about what a great day it was. And I decided right then and there, that's what I wanted to do. And I never looked back.
Do you practice every day playing guitar?
Guitar? I have to because I have stuff to do, but I know I can tell you that I'm not sure that I would do that for fun. Because I remember when I first started playing guitar, I would practice my singing lesson every day. Love to sing like a bird. And my guitar, I had to actually like be disciplined. But now I have so much I have to work on and record and play that I have to play pretty much every day. Yeah, I like it. I like it better now that I got better at it.
A song like Love is for the Making. Okay. Can you play a little bit of that so Sean knows what we're talking about here? And I want to hear I want him to hear the difference between Love is for the Making and Jump In.
Okay. Now, Love is for the Making sounds a lot better with the little harmonizer pedal because it gets everyone.
Yeah, that was another thing. I was going to ask you. That's what you had. You did have a little harmonizer thing when you were singing that sound.
I don't pre-record. I sing through it. I put the guitar. Sean, you'll know. You put the guitar and you put the vocal mic through it, and it calculates. It's like a millisecond behind. You can't tell. I set it for like a fifth or a third below, and then when I want to have a harmony to show everyone, okay, you haven't heard the song. Here's the chorus. Hit that, and everyone just automatically knows. It gives the song a little bit more dynamics live.
I dig them.
Yeah, let our audience get a sense of what you sound like.
Okay, so Love is for the Making. Do that one. Love, oh, oh, love, oh, oh, love, oh, oh, love, oh, oh, love, oh, oh. Love is still the answer. It's still the truth. I'm still the plan. Don't close your fist around it. Let it flourish in your hand. A gift is for the given. A chance is for the taken. Life is for the living. Love is for the making. Love, oh, oh, love, oh, oh, love, oh, oh, love, oh, oh, love, oh, oh. Love is for the making.
All right.
Yeah.
That's a great job. Now, that the sing-along song?
That was sing-along song.
Yeah, because there was a song you asked everybody to kind of like sing.
I did. I think they were singing on the of part.
Yes.
Yeah. And at Jump In, I have them all clap too. That's a good one for getting them to clap. I'm trying to find my tuner on this particular guitar because it obviously needs it.
Because you did get the crowd into that as well.
Yeah. Jump In was. I'll do a piece of that.
Yeah, give us a little piece of that.
I just got to tune this up.
Sean, do you know how to tune a guitar?
I tune it by ear, buddy.
Do you know how to tune a fish?
Ah.
I'm not high enough for that kind of fucking humor, Jeff.
Give it time, right? The night is young. Okay, so jump. Jump. Again, another road, place and I shouldn't go. Well, you didn't believe I would really leave. Now I'm saying I told you so. Jump. And I understand you've been feeling depressed, and I do agree it's kind of dangerous. My soul is screaming I was in a mess. I'm wondering if I feel my life more than my death is inevitable. You can't avoid it. Your tires can't get tired of rolling down that same old road. Nowhere left to go. Jump in. Jump in. Yeah, you gotta jump in. Gotta jump in. Whether I sink or swim, I'm gonna jump in. Now when that cold water hits me, I stop to catch my breath. I just won't look down, even if I sweat to death. I'm clapping along. Jump in. Jump in. Jump in. No, I'm gonna jump in. Take a dance and I'm gonna jump, 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 jump. Jump in. Jump in. Watch me jump in. I gotta jump in. I'm gonna jump, 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 jump in.
Yeah, there we go. Little
Nice.
jump in. You see, now you need to do this live. Bring Sean with you, and he can come out to the side and he can like jump like that, like with his arm up. Like
how about every time she says the word jump, I just take a hit?
I think you should have to play a song for us now, Sean.
I don't have any acoustics down here. I have an acoustic bass down here, but I have 3 electrics. I don't have my acoustics are upstairs.
Cool.
So, Lisa, the name of our show is called "Who's Your Band," right?
Mm-hmm.
And you know, and this is really one of the rare shows lately that we've been talking a lot of music. And your band, when we spoke off air, you said you're a big Steely Dan fan, and we haven't had that.
Albums already here, a couple of them. My favorites.
I gotta say, I never was a big Steely Dan fan until recently, and then I became, as Sean would say, obsessed, because Sean likes to overuse that word. But I became obsessed with Steely Dan. Loved the band. Really started to preach like the songs I didn't like. I didn't like the song "Peg" growing up.
Really?
Yeah. I thought that music was too sophisticated, and I think over my head. And over the last few years now, I really started to get into it and appreciate it a lot more. Then I got to see them open up for the Eagles, and I thought they were fantastic.
My friend that show. Yeah.
Yeah, that was great.
I gotta tell you, I'm not well versed in that kind of band. Like, I'm not really big with them and like Bachman-Turner Overdrive, like that whole 70s kind of arena rock I guess genre, I guess you want to call it. I'm not familiar with that at all. Doobie Brothers, I know a little bit, but I couldn't tell you one Steely Dan song.
They're
Ah,
they're great. Do It Again has to be one of the best songs recorded. I think Donald Fagen is really a musical genius.
yes.
He really is. He overcame this like crippling shyness. I don't know if you ever saw the video for Do It Again. Steely Dan was really one of the ugliest bands in creation, and he wouldn't like on the midnight special. He was too shy to actually sing the song, so they get this guy to come out and sing, and he sings it great. Doesn't sound like Donald Fagen, but he does a great job. A more ugly human being, okay? Like Donald Fagen is on a scale of 1 to 10, he's a -2, okay? They wound up getting a -8 to do this, all right? But it's all about the music. It's all about the sound and the perfection. And like on their classic albums, they would change like Asia. They would change up the musicians per song to fit the song. And the only ones who would really kind of be the constants were Donald Fagen and Walter Becker. And
Do you ever get really, really drunk or really, really high and like 3 o'clock in the morning and buy something that you have no intentions of ever buying in your life? I did that one time. I was watching one of those Time Life Best of the 70s things. I was really, really hungover.
Yeah.
And I bought the entire Midnight Special series on DVD. It came to my house like 8 days later. I had no idea when I bought this shit.
Adam, are you there? Okay, do me a favor. Before we end this, can you find Neil Sedaka singing "Bad Blood" on the Midnight Special? Can you just bring that up? Okay.
Hi. That sounds very random.
You have no idea what I'm about to show you. Okay, the Midnight. I would buy that box set for what we're about to see.
Oh, I can just go upstairs and give it to you.
You never wound up listening to it or watching it?
I never watched it. I did that another time too. I was really hungover after a show, right? And I dozed off, and like I was watching Walking Dead. I'll never forget this. I was watching The Walking Dead, and I dozed off. And then after The Walking Dead, there's a show called The Cutlery Corner. Did you ever see that at 3 o'clock in the morning on like a Sunday? Yeah, they sell knives and shit. So I dozed off watching The Walking Dead, and I woke up like groggy, and then I hear them say, "Do you want to survive the zombie apocalypse?" And I was like, "Yeah, I do." Like I didn't realize where I was, and I ordered apparently this fucking zombie machete. It's this big, and it came with a little zombie knife, and it came like 2 weeks later. I had no idea when I bought this. I had to go back and figure out what time and what day and shit like that, and it's upstairs too, Jeff. All my bad purchases are upstairs.
How many bad purchases do you have?
I'm trying to find Neil Sedaka.
Yeah, come on, I'm fine. This is not hard to find. Okay, pull this up.
Let's see this.
I don't know if you guys, I'm sure you guys have never seen this. I've watched it. If there's 1,000 views on this or 1,000,000 views on it, 9 million are mine. Okay, all right, play a little bit of it. Watch when they zoom in. First, this is his outfit. Look at what he's wearing. How awful is Lisa? How bad is his dancing? Oh God! Look at him. Look at it. Look at what he's wearing.
His looks like Locker from Taxi.
Oh, look at him. Adam, where's the sound? Oh, look at his pants.
Oh. Well, you don't have the sound, or
no? There was the sound. Come on, get the sound.
Hold on, give me 1 second.
Turn the tape.
You're ruining it, Adam.
I know. I thought I had it. All right, hold on a second.
What are you doing? Come on, Adam.
All right, here. Try this. Try this one. Let me know if this has sound.
Okay, here we go. Play it. All right, here we go. Look at how bad it. Look at his dance. His dancing gets worse, by the way. The outfit, his hair, his faces are insane. Also, when they show the crowd shots, He gets nothing from the audience. They're just looking at him. Look at his pants. These are mom jeans. Oh, look, do you see the way he's moving his hips?
You know what this reminds me of? He's like the kind of guy that, like, when you get a knock on your door and you open and he goes, "Hi, my name is Dan Wilson. By court order, I have to come here and tell you I get the door."
Look at his pants. He's doing this thing with his hand. Look at that. He's holding up the microphone. Look at this guy right here. The guy sitting there with his hand on the stage. Nothing. Getting nothing from the crowd. He's doing a little teapot move. He's dancing is sick. He's moving his hips. This is gross. Now, in this real song, in recorded version, it's Elton John who's doing the backup vocals.
Ah.
What? He's going to put you can say bad? Nothing from the audience. His dancing is insane. He's kicking legs, finger snaps.
I'd wear that outfit.
You would never wear this outfit.
I would wear it
Sure,
now.
the day you wear this out, if you wear those pants, we stop being friends.
I'll wear it all bottoms. Fucking podcast.
Oh, now he's sexy with the hot chicks.
If you wear those pants, then Jeff is going to play Buttercup.
I'll play. Look at this. How awkward is this, Lisa? What would you do if you were on stage with Neil Sedaka?
I just did along. I don't know.
You wouldn't care.
I wouldn't care.
It's so cringe.
Tell you what, take this anything but Build Me Up Buttercup.
It's not better than Build Me Up Buttercup. Oh, look at him now. Now look, he's doing like an Irish jig. This dancing is nuts. Adam, can you stop it? Adam, please stop before I come over there and pull out all your hair. Okay. How bad was
the song?
Well, thank you for sharing that with us. Thank you for sharing.
The song is okay.
Yeah.
It's the dancing, the performance.
The dancing.
I've seen worse.
He's not the best dancer. He's not the
Billy
best.
Squire's video of "Rock Me Tonight" is worse, but we were just watching the live version. I like when he's going bad. He wants the audience to go bad, and there's nothing. He gets nothing. It's like a comic that goes on stage, not a laugh, and it's like. But anyway, and just has to just plow through.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, okay. Listen, there's nothing worse than getting no reaction from an audio. Comedy's very different. Okay, comedy's very different because, you could say a joke bad. We've all done it. You know what I mean? We don't get the reaction, but if you're playing a song right and you're not getting any reaction for it, that's a fucking hard nut to take. I'll never forget one time we were doing a show at Lemoore in Brooklyn, and I got booked to open for this band. They were a heavy band, and they were really, really popular at the time. And we were not a heavy band. We were a hard rock band. And I go, guys, we got to open up with the heaviest song we have. And we went and we dropped it down. We went and dropped down to D. We went a whole step down, even just to make it as heavier as we possibly could. I'm going really deep with the vocal. I'm really getting into it. And you literally heard.
It would help if you were by the microphone doing that.
Heartbreaking. It was heartbreaking because we were like, well, that was the best we got. So now the rest is all fucking downhill. But I remember even the guy, the singer from the band that we opened for, he came up to me. He goes, "Yo, man, good set, wrong show."
Yeah.
And I was like, I took that. I was happy with that. I accepted that. But man, let me tell you, I'll take bombing with a joke any day over not getting a reaction with a song. Any day.
At least with a joke, you can move on to the next thing. You don't have you can bail out of your material and do crowd work to try and save the day. Okay, a song you got to plow through and just have you ever opened up for someone, Lisa, and it just is just not your night? I mean, I'm not talking about logistics and travel. I'm just talking about the audience is just not feeling you.
Oh, yeah. Well, that was the time after all that logistics and traveling. That was the time that the audience was just like, cricket.
Yeah. That makes it when everything else sucks. And then you're hoping the show's going to bail you out. And that sucks too.
I also got stage fright one time. That was oh my God, it was horrible. I guess I was just tired. And when I went out on tour, it was my first night out on tour in 2019. And because I was exhausted from getting ready to go, I don't get stage fright. I got such debilitating stage fright. I don't think I totally bombed, but I knew I wasn't that good, as and I was like shaking. I couldn't get over it. I didn't understand what happened. That never happened again either, but that was a horrible night.
I remember one time
I had stage fright one time, and Jeffrey's involved indirectly. He doesn't even realize this. A million years ago, Jeff says, "Hey, do you want to do the ring announcing for an independent wrestling event?" Because he knows I love wrestling. Now, of course, we get a little nerves on stage like this. I was fucking terrified having to go. The reason why, as I was terrified of going into the ring and tripping and falling in the ring, right? So every time I'm walking in so gingerly and making sure my feet don't clip the ropes, right? It was so bad. And then the last match, I walk into the ring and my toe clips the middle rope and my watch hits the rope and my watch smashes and it explodes all over the ring. And all you're hearing is the crowd going, "You fucked up. You fucked up. You fucked up." It's a soul crushing feeling when that happens. It really is.
No, I remember I drove out. I took Mike Sicoli with me on to this show, right? I was co-headlining a show out in Southampton. So it's about a 2.5 hour drive. Me and him drive out there. We bring this other guy, Freddie G, with us, right? And 3 comics go up before me and this other guy are going to close the show. And he's a Long Island guy. So I was like, you can close it, but I'll just go on before you. The 3 other comics, there was this guy in the audience at his table that the second they went on just starts hammering people. Just interrupting, said, heckling, and I tell Mike before he goes on, or before they're about to introduce me, I go, "This guy starts with me." I go, I am good. I am wasting no time going right after him. 12 seconds in, this guy starts. And now for me, and I'm supposed to be doing, since I'm co-headline, I think I was only doing 25 minutes. All right. I start going after this guy. And for the next maybe 10 to 12 minutes, I'm going after this guy, and it ends with me telling him to go fuck his mother. Okay.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I mean, it gets awkward. It gets weird. Okay. Him and his table get up and leave. All right. Now now the audience it's really uncomfortable in there. And there's a guy sitting there, arms folded in the first row. And listen, I can't go right into material. I got just was going on in the room. So I start doing a little crowd work. And I go, "Sir, what do you do for a living?" The guy gives me nothing. He goes, "Move on." I go, "No, I'm not moving on." I go, "What do you do for a living?" "Move on." I go, "Sir, this will be the show. This just me asking you what you do." Now the audience starts to come back on my side, and I'm able to salvage the set. The last 10 minutes, I'm able to get them, and I get off, but I'm pissed off. I drove 2.5 hours. I spent more than half my set fighting with this asshole in the crowd and his table and this guy in the front row. I walk out of the showroom, and to the right of me is the bar where I left my book, my comedy book where you write your jokes. Okay. And I have to go get it. And who's at the bar? The guy and his friends. Oh. And I have to walk to them. Okay. And I'm thinking to myself, because I see as I'm walking, they're going, "That's the guy. That's the guy." Okay. And I'm thinking to myself, if these guys are gonna start anything, the first guy I'll take out the guy who's the troublemaker. His friends could fuck me up, but I will get my pound of flesh on this one guy. And I have hostility in me. And he goes, I walk up there. He goes, "Were you the guy on stage?" I'm like, "You know exactly who I am." Okay. And now I'm ready for it. And he's like, "I just wanted to apologize. I'm embarrassed. I thought it was helping the show. Can I buy you a drink?" Like he sincerely thought he was helping the show. But for us, we want to get our jokes, that craft that we want to put them out there to an audience that hasn't seen us before. And I have this fucking asshole that I have to sit there and contend with. There are a lot of similarities, I think, between being a comic and being a musician and even being a wrestler. Doing this, like, we're grinding. and we're taking gigs in big arenas, opening for major acts, and we're doing it in cantinas and bar shows.
Yep,
right.
That's very true.
Yeah,
Lisa, around it, best.
Yes, but Lisa, I want to thank you so much for coming out and doing the show. We really do appreciate it.
Thank you for having me on. You guys are a lot of fun.
Thank you. And tell us how people could find you, support you. Tell us where you're going to be.
They can look up lisabouchelle.com, LISABOUCHELLE, lisabouchelle.com. And then if they do that, then all the social media links from there. But the website's really groovy too. We have like all the latest videos and mailing list sign up and all the merch and the swag and everything. And, it's a fun website. So I would suggest do that. When they also, all the shows are on there, it'll say shows. So that'll be any tours when my new record is about to drop. But we're probably going to hold it till January rather than, because we're mixing it right now. So when that drops, that'll be on there, as well as any tour dates that I'm doing to promote that, and all of the local shows. While I'm recording, I'll be local. So thank you.
Let us know when the album comes out so we can help you push it.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
We want to listen to support. We have good followers, and they'll do stuff like that for us. So, hey, listen, again, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Our pleasure. And like I said, we have great shows coming up. Folks, please continue to subscribe, give us some likes, share. Means the world to us. Lisa Bouchelle, thank you so much. We'll catch you next time on Who's Your Band. Thank you, everybody.